This is the second episode of Spark, stories of curiosity, courage, and connection. Alam nyo kapag I introduce myself in social events, meron akong konting social anxiety dahil I really don't know how to introduce myself properly. Sa dami ba naman ang ginagawa ko, sometimes I tend to underserve what I really do. In social settings, depende kung saan ako. Usually kapag events, I easily can tell them that I'm the host or I'm the singer. Kapag nasa speaking engagements ako, I would easily tell them and confidently tell them that I'm a coach. In reality, if I narrate everything that I do, baka malito yung mga kausap ko or eventually they'll get bored. Or sometimes for those who have enough time to listen to all the things that I do, most of them would really ask, bakit? So, I'm the classic jack of all trades. Or recently, I call myself the Swiss Army of Talents. Ang ganda nun, diba? Swiss Army of Talents. I remember this one time nung naka-catch up ko yung katrabaho ko before. So, we were apart for around 10 to 12 years. So, ang dami-dami naming pwedeng pagkwentuhan. And it was just me being me, updating her of what I've been doing for the past couple of years. Sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo ba, I've taught myself so much. So from events hosting to entrepreneurship dahil sa bakery and tutorial center namin ng asawa ko, then to life coaching, then also social media marketing after the pandemic. That was what I was doing. Then nag-evolve to creating blogs, then landing pages, then diving into the world of digital marketing, tapos audio and video production. Then recently, nag-dabble kami sa printing business. Natawa na lang siya, sabi niya, alam mo Joy, ganyan ka naman dati pa eh. At least ako, alam ko na matagal ko nang alam kung ano yung gusto ko. Alam ko naman nagbibiro lang siya. may katotohanan dun pero half lang. She just met half of it. I took no offense because I knew her personality and she was just basically pointing out something na totoo para sa kanya. Pero alam nyo, if i-assess ko, if I think about it, kung ano yung sinabi ko sa kanya, what I have been doing for the past couple of years, sometimes I feel na parang, wow, Joy, you did that. Pero maraming oras or maraming panahon na ang nafe-feel ko is insecurity, na parang, grabe. What was I doing? Ano ba yung nasa isip ko? What was I thinking? Yung insecurity na yun, it has this deep root in my childhood. Well, basically lahat naman kasi. Pero when I was in, I think, in preschool, meron akong vivid memory ng usapan namin ng mommy ko. And she mentioned this, jack of all trades, master of none. I forgot what we were talking about. But what I remember was the feeling that she disagreed, or it was something that she disapproved of. Na hindi yun maganda, hindi yun dapat, pangit yun. Na hindi yun dapat ang maging path ko, dapat merong particular focus. And as I grew older, ko kung ano yung sinasabi ng mom ko. Dahil sa society natin, let's all admit it, na kapag merong isang focus ang tao, naturally, we see them as better equipped. Kasi nga, napagtuunan nila yung maraming taon to be experts or master of this particular skill. And all due respect for those who have that kind of path. Kaya nga lang, I'm not that kind of person. When I was growing up, napalibutan ako. Yan, sister ko, mommy ko, and mga pinsan ko, lawyers, doctors, di ba mga ganyan. And may Latin honors ang mommy ko. And, well, but basically, they all have this thing. And again, all due respect, because all of those are honorable careers. Hindi nga lang ako ganun. So there was this feeling that I felt I didn't belong. Na in a world that has that kind of acceptance, or rather, that kind of mentality towards people who have a certain mastery of skill, where would I sit, or where would I position myself? And how should I think about myself kung ako hindi ko alam kung saan ang path ko? It was easier when I was in college kasi I was focusing on psychology. So, meron akong parang ticket to get away from all the insecurity and shame of not having that kind of feeling na naliligaw ka. Kasi parang in college, you're honing your skill to focus on your degree. Ganun naman talaga eh. Things changed when I graduated. Doon na nagkaroon ng branching out path ko. Na yung time na I was so focused on psychology as I was head on na ito yung magiging path ko, biglang I felt na no, Joy. It looks good. It looks really nice. But there is something here sa gilid for you. Yun nga lang, if based on what I did when I was younger, it was kind of frowned upon. Kasi during that time, medyo forgivable pa. Na you dabble on the different things. You experience different things. And have a sense of what it really feels like to work on this certain job, to have this certain passion project, or pursue this passion. Kasi ito yung mga bagay sa bata, bagay sa mga wala pang experience, and or for those who are really just finding their path. Pero alam niyo, for me, I kept on going on that path kasi I saw the value of how this kind of path led me to a space where I appreciate myself better. Yung mga experience ko, hindi naman yan lahat masaya. Kumbaga, hindi naman lahat yan win. Most of the time, maraming failures eh. It was fail after fail after fail. And I just was so surprised about myself kasi I keep on pushing through. I keep on learning from the mistake. That was one of the ways that I knew na this kind of path, magulo man for some, was the path that was meant for me. In that kind of experience, in my experience, there was this sense of, there is actually until now, there is this sense of fulfillment in trying something new, fulfillment in knowing how I can push myself to the boundaries, kumbaga push my boundaries of what I could do and what I could tolerate or what I could thrive in. And most important thing is how I really saw the value of who I was. Sa napili kong path, mas nakita ko yung mahalaga para sa akin, yung gustong-gusto ko sa sarili ko, which is grit, yung patience ko on things that I truly love, and most of all, yung creativity ko, dahil nakita ko how my mind works. Minsan nga nasasabi ko sa sarili ko na, wow, nagawa ko yun. And if I consider the people na nasa mga kaedad ko, kumbaga yung mga kabatch ko, ganyan, my path is quite unconventional, quite different. Naalala ko nga when I was less than 5 years, nung graduate kami ng high school, a few of us were invited back to the school para mag-judge ng isang event. So I was with, I think kabatch ko yun. Kabatch ko siya, so nag-work siya sa isang sikat na marketing firm, and then the other one was working at Pag-asa. Parang ako sa sarili ko, what am I doing here? But it's a singing contest, so alam ko na kung bakit ako nandun. But basically, why am I with these people? So, yeah, there's that kind of insecurity when you're surrounded with those kinds of people. And you have to deal with it day by day. But going back to the story, so, nung nandun kami, after the event, so, usap-usap, kain kami, then celebrate, ganyan. May isa akong former teacher, I was kind of surprised when this former teacher that I used to, not idolize, pangit naman yun, but I look up on this person. So, sabi niya, so Joy, nasa, ano ka ba? Anong ginagawa mo sa music? Nakapag-pursue ka ba ng music? Ganyan. So, of course, hindi. Kasi nga, nasa psychology ako and it was a college here in Bulacan. So, I can smell it. There's a sense of disappointment dun sa pag-reply niya. Maybe he was expecting more of me. Maybe he was expecting that I pursue a career in music sa isang sikat na university sa Manila, but that was not the path that I was in. So during that time, I really felt small and I felt that I did not belong. And I compare, which is something that I won't recommend. So when I compare myself to the people na ka-age ko, hindi talaga nagmamatch. Kasi some of them have almost 20 years of experience in their chosen field. Impressed ako sa mga ganyan, honestly, when I meet people who have that length of time honing a particular skill. I really have so much respect for them because I know I could not, I cannot. And dahil nga, pag kinumpare ko rin yung path nila sa path ko, ang layo. Kasi mine is risky, walang financial stability, walang security, and for some, parang it's a foolish decision. And I know it's not something that I would also recommend that they try or younger people to try dahil sa katotohanan, hindi naman talaga yun para sa lahat. And the main reason is it's not easy. Well, nothing is easy, but it's extra hard for you to pursue this kind of path. And it's not for the faint-hearted. Nagawa ko lang ito, first is by the grace of God. Second is by the people who are around me. So I'm really grateful for the people who have supported me ever since. So yung pamilya ko, yung asawa ko, and good bosses. I would like to highlight that. Good bosses. Dahil sa kanila, nagkaroon ako ng supportive and understanding na support system. Yeah. So, kasama ko sila from one job to another, and then one gig to another. And sa ganong klaseng support, na-dare ko yung sarili ko, na-push ko yung sarili ko, na even if there were moments that I wasn't really sure where I was going, hindi man ako sure kung saan ako papunta, nagkaroon ako ng lakas ng loob to push through. Akala ko kasi noon, maraming nasayang. One in particular is yung degree ko. Tapos sumunod yung master's ko. Then, yung ibang, or halos lahat ng online courses na pinag-investan ng asawa ko for me. Akala ko nung umpisa, parang nabura, alam mo yun, yung parang nasayang basically. Kasi, totoo naman talaga na sa umpisa, it doesn't really make sense. Sa mga nag-uumpisa or mag-uumpisa ulit, things won't really make sense. I would look back now, kung yung dati na iniisip ko na yung degree ko sa psychology nawala na ng saysay, kasi hindi ako nag-pursue ng career in psychology, if it wasn't for my degree, I think I wouldn't have this confidence in understanding how my career works as a life coach. Then, kung hindi ako na-expose nung college ako sa mga sunod-sunod na events, sunod-sunod na mga extracurricular activities, I think I won't have that kind of confidence as a host or a speaker na ginagawa ko ngayon. And one in particular is, kung hindi dahil sa mga voice lessons and acting lessons ko when I was younger, na akala ko na parang nagsayang lang ng pera yung parents ko, I think I wouldn't have that reference or confidence sa sarili ko para umakyat ng stage at mag-perform sa maraming tao. Which, at one event, I could face hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of people all at the same time. Kung hindi ko na-experience yung mga yun, I wouldn't have that kind of guts to really be on that stage. And kung hindi ako nag-fail sa mga naging business namin dati as an entrepreneur, I think I wouldn't have that kind of heartache to push myself out of the comfort zone that I was in for a long time para i-explore yung mga high-income skills tulad sa mga skills sa digital marketing. What I'm saying is that every path that you choose builds a sense of resilience, and it basically expands your zone of learning, or for some they call it zone of optimal stress. Yan. Kasi dun tayo natututo eh. If we push ourselves out of the things that we are used to doing, dun natin nakikita yung sense of growth. Sa ngayon, if you would ask me if I'm still insecure about being me or having so much skills or knowing so much, yes, I'm still insecure. Dahil marami pa rin na nag-iisip na dapat iisa lang ang path. Or some of the people I meet frown upon people who are like me kasi parang nalilito sila, naguguluhan sila. Or maybe intimidated. Not because not because I know many skills, but intimidated because they cannot understand. So I think I have to accept. So if you're like me, if you experience that, we have to accept that not everyone would agree, not everyone would understand. Pero if I address those insecurities, or I call them monsters, if I address those at kumalma sila, dun ko nakikita na, wait, akala ko dati na malaking pagkakamali ko of not pursuing one path. Yung inaakala ko na parang detrimental or flaw, isang sobrang epic na flaw ko sa pagkatao ko is something that is my strength. If I address those insecurities, I am reminded dahil dun ko nakikita yung mga ginagawa ko pala ngayon, right now, is a combination of all of the skills that I have learned throughout the years. I think it would be just, nararapat, to consider those as my superpower. Yun ang superpower ko, a multipotentialite creative. Yung insecurities ng kahit sino, yung insecurities mo about your skill, yung insecurities mo about experience, your insecurity mo about age, or sometimes your insecurity mo about how you look, might give you that clue kung ano man yung superpower mo. Kasi syempre, malamang sa umpisa, you would think that nothing makes sense. You would think that it's very hard to face it. You might be intimidated of the path that you would go through once you really push yourself to face all of those insecurities. So need time to eventually figure out how to deal with all of those insecurities, and importante din yung support system. That is something that makes the journey even more bearable. Ang mahalaga, I think this is the most important thing. Ang pinakamahalaga is that you don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. And no matter how strong yung insecurity mo, no matter how loud it is in your head, consider it as something like a dare. Isa siyang dare para you can also grow as strong, as patient, or basically as big as your insecurity. Consider it as a dare na kung malakas ang insecurity ko, I think I should bulk up. I should invest in my growth, personal growth, invest in myself, para mas maging malakas ako, mas matyaga ako sa sarili ko, mas matulungan ko yung sarili ko to really focus on what's good, what's positive, what areas do I really need to improve, and to have bigger hope. And as you're working on yourself day by day, you'll figure it out eventually. You'll figure out how to turn all of those insecurities into something that would push you into seeing where that light in you lies. That insecurity blinds us from what's true, from what's good, from what's beautiful about you. And hopefully, day by day, step by step, you'll find how to ignite that spark in you. And lastly, for the multipotentialites out there, tayo man ay jack of all trades, master of none. Always remember that oftentimes, it is better than being a master of none. This is Joy, your host for Spark, and I hope to see you on our next episode. Bye!